Dying Light the Beast is shaping up to be Tech1's biggest and most ambitious project for the Dying Light series to date. Hype and the need for the next iteration of Kyle Crane's story is slowly building up. I mean, the game in just 10 weeks got over 1 million wishlists, which makes this title the fastest wishlisted game in the franchise's history. Kyle Crane is back, baby! I know, I've been gone a bit the last time we chatted. These eyes, they haven't seen Mike Tyson's bare asshole yet. But I know, we've talked about this game a bit already. Tech1 has been quite airtight in sharing new details surrounding this title. We know it started as a DLC 2 for Dying Light 2, but ambitions grew and they wanted to make this a proper game with new mechanics, a dedicated storyline, and more importantly, an entire new world for players to explore. This game will be told as a linear narrative that aims to deliver a focused, emotional story that explores Kyle Crane and allows them to tie the lore together of both Dying Light 1 and Dying Light 2 while setting the path forward for what's next. And seeing how things are coming together, seeing them work on the beast. I don't know if I care about Dying Light 2 anymore. And honestly, I don't know if Tech1 really cares about Dying Light 2 anymore, to be honest. And a lot of people are kind of on the same boat and thinking the same thing. I mean, when it comes to what's next for the Dying Light franchise, a lot of us are just waiting around for the beast. That's pretty much what we got going on right now. Which is a shame, because the new update, the Tower Raid Halloween update, I know I'm uploading this way after, but I actually did enjoy it. It was a fun time. Probably the hardest I've ever gamed in my entire life, Techland. Man, that shit was difficult. A good amount of positives that I'll dive into a little bit later, some things I would change, but fuck, that perk system, the loadouts, actually making it so I have to loot, it was so good, you nailed it, which is why it kind of hurts to say what's happening with Dying Light 2 at the moment, which I'll explain. Bro, what the fuck? I will say one of my biggest criticisms from the original Tower Raid was that you could fly through it. There was no reason to raid, everything was handed to you on a silver platter, it was incredibly easy to complete, but with that Halloween update, I was struggling to find resources. I mean, I went and opened every single locker here to just find something helpful in my survival. Did I? Fuck no! The extremes I went to find loot in here is comparable to what Suicide Squad fans were doing to find any piece of enjoyable content in that game. And after so many months of support, I think Dying Light 2 has been really nailing it in some areas. I think we can all agree that the state of the game mechanically is in a much better state now than what it was when it launched. Easily 100% emoji. And gonna be honest, I haven't really been paying too much attention recently to like hot fixes and changes and everything. I've been a busy lad. I broke my pinky, okay? For the longest time, I didn't know when my next Dying Light 2 video was going to be. I didn't know the next time I was going to open up Dying Light 2. I mean, look at this screenshot that I took. Last played July 11th. That's crazy. That's almost 4 months ago. So what changed? Why did I revisit? Well, yes, I wanted to see the new Tower Raid update, but what really rubbed my willy the wrong way is what's happening with the bundles. Again, because I got an email out of the blue. New bundles. Count Skull will help you find them. This bundle also contains Count Skull's outfit, paraglider, and more unique items. Get it before it disappears. Get it before it disappears. Before it disappears. Get it before it disappears from the in-game store. That doesn't make sense. That's what it says too. From the in-game store once Tower Raid Halloween run ends. Got it. Man, it's good to see stuff like this. There was one day I logged on to Twitter and I just saw it plastered all over. It said time limited offer using those FOMO tactics we discussed so long ago.
I want it to be over and done with. I do. I'm tired, boss.
Man, I feel like I'm that toxic ex that just keeps breaking no contact when talking about these microtransactions. And this goes all the way back to August of 2023, when they first announced Dying Light points. And over the months, I mean, it's become pretty apparent that the store has just become more increasingly predatory over time. We kind of know this. I mean, some of the same tactics that we feared over a year ago are very much here. I mean, there's even a clip of me from last September saying that they haven't done any FOMO bundles yet, but that it's a slippery slope and that it could happen in due time if we let them. This is how it starts. It's a slippery slope, okay? Monetization will increasingly get more intrusive over time if they can get away with it now. Haven't gone and introduced any FOMO elements in this shop. Lo and behold, this has aged like one of the worst glasses of milk one could ever drink. Remember when I made a big fuss about the pistol weaponry kit from a long time ago? I mean, that video is like 6 months ago. I mean, in this screenshot, it says special offer. It looks like this kit is on sale. It looks like a special offer that's heavily discounted, and it's incentivizing me to buy it right now. One would assume that eventually this would go back to 500 Dying Light points. Absolutely not. I took this screenshot yesterday and it's still on sale. It's been at this price for 6 months now. Why? But quite frankly, do I really care anymore about what they're doing with Dying Light 2 here? Not really, only slightly, I will say. I kind of see this as a last-ditch desperate attempt to get whatever money they can from fans before moving on to Dying Light the Beast. I think the bigger issue here is one that we all need to worry about, which is that they could be doing this to the Beast when that game does come out, because if they have no issue doing it with Dying Light 2, it's quite possible that they do it for their next game. I don't know, 1 million wish lists? Trust me, if I was the CEO, I would be rock hard thinking about all the potential revenue I could earn if we made outfits for Kyle Crane where he could run around in a clown outfit. I'm afraid that the Beast is probably just going to launch with the store already functioning, and they're going to lean into it super hard. I don't know for sure. I think depending on the success of the Beast will really determine how intrusive the store gets if it does come into the game at launch. But yet again, that may not be an accurate prediction, because if the Beast sells really well, they may utilize a storefront as an opportunity to capitalize on more money and more finances. However, if the Beast sells very poorly, we gotta make up for our money somehow. I mean, let's just see what happens. I'm hopeful for the Beast. Could just be me juiced up on copium, but things like with what they're doing with Dying Light 2 on the storefront, it kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I would love to go into the Beast with open arms. I mean, have you read some of those interviews? The Caster Woods, the new location, a smaller map than Dying Light 2, but much more detailed and designed to make exploration rewarding at every single turn, a strong emphasis on storytelling with Easter eggs, secrets, and hidden paths, a map where lore is intricately woven into the environment, and the map is filled with mystery, and it was handcrafted by developers at every single nook and cranny. Oh, I personally think they should release a final version of Tower Raids and let that be the send-off to Dying Light 2. Let's just put it to bed, move on, and embrace the Beast and embrace what comes next after it. It's unfortunate that we got into the situation. Like I said, I did really enjoy the Halloween Tower update. Baka, he came back. I mean, he looks different again for some reason. Every single time I look at him, he's got a new face. He must be flying to Turkey often. And now super hard pivot, but I think this Halloween raid update is exactly what I was looking for on the first go around for Tower Raids. It is now a bit more mechanic heavy, and the purpose is to actually loot and they give you rewards that are actually meaningful now. Each floor feels like a proper progression from the last one. I spent 2 hours fighting zombies over and over, trying to be resourceful and careful, and it was so much fun. I thought I was so close to the top, and then the game over screen popped up, and I was only 5 out of 9 floors in. Difficulty, kinda jank. I think maybe this is what elite mode should have been like the entire time, but the perk system, I will say, phenomenal. It really adds to that roguelike experience that they were trying to aim for. But one thing that I really liked, and I said this in my last video about raids, but I wanted Techland to push people into uncomfortable situations when playing the game. And I have to say, they achieved this in numerous spots for me. There was one scenario where I really appreciated. Because of that, it felt like I was doing a proper raid, since I was tied down to the loadout loot. When I was on the floor fighting the 2 bosses, I needed to be extremely careful as healing resources were incredibly low. So I took my time, I was being attentive, I killed what I could before going in for a mini damage phase until more zombies spawned in. But what I really liked is that I was technically on a timer. Now you don't see it here, but I was, because I couldn't just sit here for 2 hours and slowly chip away at him, and I almost didn't realize this until it was too late. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but because of the layout of this floor, it almost forced my immunity to run out. And as a player, I panicked and had to quickly think on my feet on how to overcome this obstacle. Was I victorious? Yes! Barely! But more importantly, I felt a sense of accomplishment, a feeling of joy. Some floors in this raid gave me that special feeling that I first had when scaling the VNC tower, which I didn't think was possible. That is a moment that I had over 2 years ago at this point. Over 2 years ago at this point? Yeah. That was a moment I had almost 2 years ago, and one of these floors was the closest thing to recreating how special that first time was. Granted, my ass could have just ran back to the elevator and UV back up for the fight, but what's the point in that? Because little situations like this, it made it feel like a proper raid, which was my biggest criticism from my first time when testing this out. My food is done. So I think they really nailed it there. The difficulty, like I said, it needs a bit more fine tuning. I know plenty of you wanted to hear my thoughts about the tower raid and its update, hence why I did a kind of hard pivot to trashing Techland and then kind of praising them at the end. But that's all I have to say for now. So what did you think about the update? What do you think about the direction of Dying Light as a whole? Are you excited? Are you waiting for the beast? Where are you at? Also, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry, Danny. Where are you? Over there. I'm sorry for not uploading as much as I used to. I've been incredibly busy. I've been helping out some video game developers make games like this one and also this one. So I hope you can understand. I will share more information soon, but bear with me. I am so excited to share that experience with you, but just give me a bit more time, okay? Fingers crossed. And with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.